And hello YouTube, this is Cover 2 Credits, and today we are going to be doing some gameplay of Heroes of the Storm. Just going to give you guys a quick overview of what's going on with Blizzard's MOBA, a competitor to League of Legends, the uber popular, and Valve's main competitor, Dota 2. Heroes of the Storm has a much more simplified feel to it. It is much more streamlined. It takes out a lot of the ridiculous mechanics like denying and gold and item builds and a lot of the stuff that makes MOBAs normally so daunting for new players, and just removes them entirely. And honestly, it does it in a decent way. The game is a lot less frustrating for me. I'm a hardcore Dota 2 fan. I love the game to death, and I have played way too many games, and it's great. But honestly, sometimes you just want some of that PvP feel without a lot of the tedious overhead, when you just want to hop in a game with your buddies and have some fun without having to worry about, you know, people from Peru screaming at you that your item build sucks and that you have no idea how to play this game and you need to uninstall and then kill yourself, as usually happens in MOBAs. So, we're going to get started right here. As you can see, there are, what do we have, maybe 25, 30 heroes in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yeah, I'd say in the 20 range. They're all heroes from, obviously, Blizzard's lore. They are adding more all the time. I believe Sylvanas is next in the cooker. She's supposed to be out sometime within the next month, I believe. There's a free rotation every week. I've only got a few heroes bought because the grind is real in this game. You start out, you get a decent amount of gold for doing your sort of starting quests, and then the only way to earn gold is through daily quests. And honestly, it would take for freaking ever to earn all of these heroes. Although if you're going to play for a long period of time, that's not really an issue. So we're going to check out, we'll play Rhaegar. Okay, and I think I'm just gonna do a probably just a practice match here, so I can give you guys some give you guys a quick overview without, you know, having people yelling at me for not doing anything. All right, so we're gonna load in right now. Now, first thing that happens is you get shoved in queue, and then it will pick a map for you. Unlike League and Dota, actually, Heroes of the Storm has quite a few maps. I believe LoL's has, what, 3 now? But pretty much only one gets played, and Dota only has the one, except for maybe some special seasonal events. But this game actually has quite a few. I believe it's 5 or 6, and they're also adding more of those. Now, in Heroes of the Storm 1, everyone on your team shares experience, so it doesn't matter if you last hit. It does not matter what you really do, because your whole team levels up at the same rate, as you can see here at the top of the screen. So, starting at 1-to-1. As with every MOBA you have ever played, you get 3 regular abilities, you get 1 ultimate skill, and in this game you get a trait, which is usually a passive of some sort. For my Shaman, it means I can transform into a wolf and out again instantly, instead of mounting, which everyone else can do. So we'll just grab our heal here, and again, like every MOBA you've ever played, the map is divided into lanes. Now, what is different about Heroes of the Storm than most games? One, as stated, the map is a lot more compact in terms of lanes. These are very short lanes. As you can see, their tower range is going to be about right here, and our tower range is about right here. So there's not a lot of neutral territory. Towers in this game are probably the weakest of any MOBA I've ever played. Not only do they have a low amount of life, they don't really do much damage, and they run out of ammo. So pretty much you want to push your lane as hard as possible most of the time, unless there's a bunch of assassins running around and missing. And since we're playing against computers, these are really retarded, and this is probably going to die. Okay, that's just making me feel bad now. Alright, and we'll just tack through this guy since he's not going to move. Alright, the map objective has activated. Now, every single map has a map mechanic. This is the Dragon Knight map. Basically what has to happen is Both teams fight over these shrines: Temple of the Shrine, Temple of the Sun, and if your team holds both of them, then you can put someone on the middle shrine and it will turn them into a giant dragon warrior that pretty much stomps everyone. The objectives in these maps are really, really powerful, and pretty much your whole team should be focused on doing the objectives. It's much more important than, like Dota and LoL, where you got some people trying to push, you got some people trying to farm, you've got your carries who are trying to manage, your carries are usually trying to farm, your jungle's trying to do the jungle while trying to get some ganks. In this, pretty much all 5 people are going to want to run towards the objective in one form or the other. Because like I said, it is very, very difficult to win if you're not doing the objectives. So I'm going to grab the Dragon Knight here, which will transform my character and give me brand spanking new abilities, and as you can see, it pretty much makes me into a boss. And I have ridiculous just mow down power. And these towers, like I said, this one's already out of ammo and they suck, so I'll just bash it down. As with most games, there's some base archetypes. You've got your casters, you've got your melee warriors like Diablo here, who just sort of are fat and in the way and beat things up. Tychus from StarCraft. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's fun seeing a lot of the old guys from a lot of your old favorite games in and just busting heads. It's almost Super Smash Brothers like in that regard. Alright, looks like my Dragon Knight wore out, and we'll just keep leveling up here. As you can see, you get a ton of XP from killing heroes, quite a bit from killing buildings. So if you can get a good push, you can get your whole team ahead. It's like right now we're up almost 2.5 levels on the other team, which is a colossal advantage in this game. The most I've ever seen is like a 4 or 5 level deficit, and at that point it's pretty much impossible for the other team to win, because they have to come way, way back. And we'll just keep plowing through these for a while. Now, the other maps available are, let's see, there's a map where there's a ghost pirate ship that you have to kill neutral camps to get coins for. The Egypt map is probably my favorite, where you have to take over shrines that shoot laser beams at the enemies. What is the other one? There's one that has these little tokens you have to collect, sort of capture the flag style. And when you do that, if you get enough, it will disable all of the enemy's towers and make all of their creeps have 1 hit point, which lets your team basically super push. There's also a plant map. There's also like a mine map where you try to raise golems to push for you, and just a whole bunch of stuff like that. Like I said, the game's very, very team oriented. It's very objective oriented, and it's much less about just killing, pushing, and managing creep hits and denies like most MOBAs are. Like I said, it's a lot more of a casual experience, but I think it honestly, it's sort of better for it. Rather than trying to compete directly with Dota and LoL for the hardcore competitive scene, they're pretty much just going their own route, making a game that's much more... It's much more Smash Brothers than Street Fighter. Alright, as you can see, I've unlocked my epic ability, and we'll see if we can help out here and grab the Dragon Knight. Since I'm in practice mode, it's trying to tell me how to play this game right now. And these computers are like really handicapped. Alright. Now, the other thing in this game that is important is your hero. As you play them more, they level up obviously within the game, but they also level up at an account level. And by leveling your hero's account up, you can one, unlock all the advanced and expert talents for them. When you first start out, you pretty much pigeonholed into some of the more basic stuff. But as you level up your hero at an account level, you'll get the more like sort of complicated talents and sometimes more useful ones. Although sometimes the basic stuff is probably what you want to go with a lot of times. But generally more options. Also, you can unlock skins, unlock bonus mounts. At level 5, you actually get gold, which is very helpful if you're trying to unlock more heroes, especially after you get some of the easy ones out of the way. You'll want to try to level a bunch of heroes to level 5 just for the gold, if nothing else. So right now, like I said, we're just pretty much stomping them because these computers are just terrible. And also, as you can see, I'm pretty much just wrecking everything because the Dragon Knight is super OP. Now, and as we push to win here, aside from your standard like fighters, there's also a lot of weird sort of specialist heroes in this game, is what they call them. I think we've got a Sergeant Hammer, who's like a range specialist, and she's like basically just an obnoxious siege engine. Gazlowe is a goblin sort of tinker, and he pushes like a madman. His ultimate lets him do like 200 or 300% damage to structures and creeps, which just lets him wreck bases pretty much without having to try very hard. Let's see who else is a pushing fiend. Asmodan and a lot of other champions. Like I said, I think there's one champion. There's a Zerg champion who just sort of sits in your base, and he can like possess your like allies and give them weird abilities, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like I said, it's a fairly interesting, and as you can see, it's not. A lot of it's not terribly well balanced, but as I said, it's a much more casual experience than pretty much any MOBA I've ever played. And I think that's a mark in its favor in a lot of ways. Alright, now we've got a bunch of these siege minions going, so we should be able to end this without too much trouble. And I'll throw Bloodlust. And game over, we win. So, as you can see, solid graphics, decent gameplay, although streamlined, which is going to make it not great for some people and great for others. Solid hero selection, and all around a solid game. I mean, it's definitely a MOBA, and it definitely has the Blizzard polish, as you will call it. They don't really release anything that is not at least decent. And this is another, like I said, it doesn't really do anything particularly revolutionary, but it does streamline the MOBA experience. I think open it up to a wider audience, and all around solid game. So check it out, see what you think. I believe the beta is invite only at the moment. I won my key off of a contest from MMORPG.com, but there's a lot of sites giving them out all the time. So go ahead and check it out. See if you can get yourself a key. I think they're going to start a buddy key system soon, and before opening it up in open beta. But like I said, give it a check out if you're into MOBAs, or if you're not. Like I said, this is a great, great game to start with if you want to get into the MOBA scene but have never played one, because it condenses all of the basic essence of MOBAs and puts it into a much more bite-sized experience. So, this is Kevin from Cover 2 Credits. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your girlfriend if you have one. Although if you do, you're probably not watching this. And thanks for staying till after the credits.